Good morning students. Today I teach you classification of plant. We are studying the chapter classification of plant and our first topic is the classification of living organism. So first of all, what is the means of classification? Classification on the basis of the similar character divisions of plants and animals. All of you know our earth have too much biodiversity. Too much biodiversity means have a diversity in a living organism. If you are thinking about plants, so in your surrounding all of you see so many types of plants. But when you observe them, what do you find out? You find out they are not similar in a structure, not similar in a shape. So these are the difference, these are the diversity. So how can we do the study these millions or so much different varieties of a plant? For that, to make the convenient to study of the plant, what we are doing? We are doing the classification of plant. Okay. So on the basis of a similar characters, we can make a group of a plant, and then we are do the. It become a very easiest or convenient to study of that different variety of a plant or millions of a plants. Okay. So first of all, I explain you how can we divide the living organism. All of you know in living organism what we kept? We kept the plant and animals. So first of all, Robert Whitaker, this is the scientist or botanist who give their classifications about the living organism, and he divided all the living organism in a 5 kingdom. Okay, so first of all we see that 5 kingdom. First of all, we can divide the living organism in the prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So what is the mean of prokaryotes? Pro meaning ancient. So first of all, which nucleus comes into the existence on a earth? So prokaryotic nucleus come into existence on a earth. When we see the structure of prokaryotic cell, so we see there is no nuclear membrane, means inside of the cell what is present? Nucleus is present, and nucleus is surrounded by nuclear membrane. But when we see the prokaryotic cell, so what is absent there? Nuclear membrane is absent there, but the nuclear material is present inside them, and that nuclear material is known as the nucleoid. And which organisms comes amongst the prokaryotics? Monera. In what is the example of Monera? All the bacteria, Lactobacillus, Staphylococcus, okay, tuberculosis bacteria, all that bacteria comes in the Monera. So what is the Monera? Monera is the kingdom, and in kingdom Monera what we kept? We kept the bacteria. Okay. Now the second one. Second is eukaryotics. Eu means true, and karyotes means nucleus. Okay, so in the process of evolution, eukaryotic nucleus is formed by the prokaryotic nucleus. When the process of evolution is going on, then we can see the developed structure of a nucleus or cell in which the nuclear membrane is present, and the nuclear material is present inside the nucleus. So easily you are able to see which type of a difference we can see in the prokaryotic and eukaryotic. In prokaryotic, nuclear membrane is absent, and in eukaryotic, nuclear membrane is present. Nuclear material is come direct into the contact of cytoplasm, but here nuclear material is present inside of the nuclear membrane. This is the difference between the prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So which cell is developed? Eukaryotic cell is developed. Again, further we classify the eukaryotic cell into the unicellular and multicellular organism. In unicellular organism, the next kingdom, that is the Protista. Okay, first kingdom is the Monera, second kingdom is the Protista. So in the Protista, we can kept all the unicellular organism. Protista is also known as the protozoa. And what is the example of protista? Amoeba, paramecium, euglena, volvox, all these are the example of a unicellular organism. So first of all, in the process of evolution, you can see the Monera, then you can see the eukaryotic cell, then you can see the unicellular organism. Next one is the multicellular organism. In multicellular organism, further we classified into two groups. One is the with cell wall and without cell wall. So all of you know, when you can see the developed structure of a plant or animal cell. So in animal cell, the nucleus is surrounded by a membrane, and that membrane is known as the plasma membrane. But when you can see the structure of a plant cell, so what you can find out? You can find out nucleus is surrounded by the plasma membrane, and plasma membrane is surrounded by another membrane, and that membrane is known as a cell wall. What we call them? Cell wall. So on the basis of that, you can easily see here with cell wall, without cell wall. So which one is a without cell wall? Animal cell is a without cell wall. And which one is a with cell wall? Plant cell is a with cell wall. Okay. Now again, with cell wall is divided into two groups. One is the autotrophic plants and second one is the heterotrophs plants. So in autotrophs plants, we can study those plants who are able to make their own food. And all of you know the definition of a photosynthesis, in which plant make their food by using the inorganic substance carbon dioxide, water, and in the presence of sunlight they make their food. But why they are able to make their food? Because they have a chloroplast. Without chloroplast, it is not possible to make their food. So all those plants which have a chloroplast, they are kept into the group autotrophs. And those plants which don't have a chloroplast, that is known as a heterotrophs. They can take their food from the plants or other organisms. Okay. So who are kept here? Fungi. तो हमने क्या क्या देखा? In prokaryotic, first kingdom is the Monera. In eukaryotic, second kingdom is the Protista. In multicellular, third kingdom is the Animalia. And after that, fourth kingdom is the Plantae, and last fifth kingdom is the Fungi. So these are the 5 kingdom classification of Robert Whitaker. Okay. Now, so these are the classification of living organism. But our topic is the classification of plant. So how can we classify the plants? So with cell wall, where we are come? With cell wall. So in the basis of classification of plant, there are 5 bases of classification of plant. First one is the presence or absence of organs. So if you can see presence and absence of an organ, I am already explained you there is a biodiversity in a plant also and in animal also. So when you are observe the plant, so you can see just some plants have a flower, some plant have a fruit, but some plant are those they don't have a flower, they don't have a seed. So on the basis of that, we can classify this is the first base, presence and absence of organs. Maybe they have a flower, maybe they have a fruits, maybe they have a seed. Okay, all these are the organs, or maybe leaves, stems, roots, all these are the organs of a plant. So if they have a presence, so and absence in the plant. Now the second one, presence and absence of a conducting tissue. All of you know what is the conducting tissue? Conducting tissue is the vascular tissue in which we can keep xylem. Their example is the xylem and phloem. Xylem conduct the water from where? From root to the upward direction or every part of the plant. And what is the phloem? Phloem, the conducting tissue which can transfer the food from leaves to every part of the plant. Okay, so if the conducting tissue is a present or absent, on the basis of that we can classify them presence and absence of a conducting tissue. And third criteria is the seeds in a presence and absence of a seeds. So all of you see, some plants have a seeds and some plants do not have a seed. Now the fourth criteria, whether the seeds are enclosed in a fruit or not. Okay, some seeds, just like all of you see the plant of cycas, in cycas without formation of the fruits, seeds are present. And you can take the example of a mango. In mango, what you can see, the seed is present inside the fruit. So on the basis of that, we can take our fourth basis. Now the last basis, number of a cotyledon in a seed. So what is the means of cotyledon? Just you can take the seed of a groundnut, and are you able to divide them into two equal parts? Yes, we are able to divide them two equal parts. If we divide them two equal parts, so that is the dicotyledon. But as you can take the seed of a corn and try to divide into two equal parts, but it is not possible for us to divide them into two equal parts. So that is known as the monocotyledon seed. Okay, so on the basis of that, we can say the number of a cotyledon. If they have a two cotyledons, so that is categorized in the dicotyledon, and if they have only one cotyledon, so that is in a monocotyledon. Okay, thank you now.